Hi kids, good morning. So, welcome to the biology class. Are you all interested to studying something new, interesting? Yes, you are right. So, today we're going to study about one of the most amazing system in our body. And this amazing system is nothing but the circulatory system. Do you know why it is amazing? Let me tell you. This is the first organ to be formed during the embryonic stage, and this is the only organ which works continuously without taking any break, without getting tired till the person dies. Isn't it amazing, right? Yes. No. So now let's study about the circulatory system. Now this system is also called as cardiovascular system. Now, what does the word cardiovascular says? Cardio means it is the heart, and vascular is the components which carries the blood. So here in the image you can see there are blue and red lines. So these blue and red lines which are connected from heart and moving throughout the body. That means it is connecting to the various parts of the body. So these are nothing but the blood vessels. And inside this blood vessel, the blood is carried. So togetherly, we call the blood and the blood vessels as vascular system. So the cardiovascular system comprises of three components, which is the blood vessels, and the heart. Since in your lower classes you must have studied as blood is one of the tissue. It is a type of a connective tissue and it is called a fluid connective tissue. Now this fluid connective tissue needs something to carry them. They cannot be transported as it is. It has to be carried in a component, just like the water is transported in a pipe. So, similarly, even the blood is fluid in nature, so it should be transported in something which has a structure similar to that of a pipe. So, if you observe carefully, the blood vessels also looks like a pipe system. So the blood flows through a narrow pipe-like structure in the body, and these pipe-like structures are nothing but the blood vessels. And the blood is made up of two components, that is the plasma and the formed elements. So plasma is a liquid component of the blood. It has water and all the nutrients, waste materials, everything will be present in the plasma. And formed elements are nothing but the cells which are present in the blood, the WBC, RBCs, and the platelets. So all these things in detail we are going to study in this class. Now, what is the need of this transportation? What is the importance of this circulatory system? So, let us study about that. Transportation of nutrients such as glucose, amino acids, and vitamins. So, why do you think these nutrients should be transported? Now, we know that humans are multicellular organisms, and in a multicellular organisms there are millions and trillions of cells. Now all these cells are living. They're not present in one location. They're present in different places. Like some cells are present in the head, some cells are present in the stomach, some are present in the heart, some would be present in the kidney, some cells are present in the leg. So every body, the whole body is made up of cells. But when we eat something, the food gets digested, and the digested substances the small intestine will complete the digestion. So all the nutrients would be present in small intestine. So whatever the cells are present in the small intestine, they will get the nutrients easily because it is getting digested there itself. What about the cells which are present in the leg, the stomach, or the brain, or in the hand? They also need nutrients, right? So this food cannot go on its own and reach to the different part of the body. So there is a system, that is the circulatory system, they will carry the nutrients like glucose, amino acids, vitamins from the digestive system to the various parts of the body. And removal of waste. So, what are okay. Now, coming to the second function of the transportation, it is the removal of the waste. Now, what are the waste here? So, waste are the urea and ammonia. Now, urea and ammonia are the nitrogenous metabolic waste, and these are produced when the proteins are digested. So, every cell needs proteins, right? So, when the protein is broken down, the amino that is when amino acids are broken down, the end product obtained would be urea and ammonia. They are highly toxic. We cannot store inside the cell. If it is stored inside the cells, the cell would die. So it is important to remove these waste material. And these waste material, that is urea and ammonia, they are excreted, they are removed by the kidney. So every cell will produce this waste. So that means from the various parts of the body, this waste should be collected and taken to the kidney for its removal. And this is also done by the transportation system. So the next important function of transportation system is the transportation of respiratory gases, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide. So we continuously breathe in, right? So when we breathe, we take in oxygen and we give out carbon dioxide. So the oxygen is required by all the living cells to break the food, that is to break the glucose. And when this food is broken, energy is released in the form of ATP, and that ATP will be utilized by the cells. So again, the oxygen is transported to all the parts of the body with the help of transportation system. And when this food, that is the glucose, is broken down, the end product would be carbon dioxide, would be one of the end product, which is waste material. The cell does not require this carbon dioxide, and hence all the carbon dioxide whatever is produced by the various cells will be collected and brought to the respiratory system, to the lungs. From the lungs we give out. So for the transportation of respiratory gases, again, the circulatory system is required. Another important function is hormones, transport of hormones from the endocrine glands to the specific target organ. So our body contains another amazing system called the endocrine system. They have endocrine glands in it, and they produce a hormones through which they communicate with various cells. But these organs are present in a different location, and its specific tissue or a target organ is present somewhere else. So to communicate, the endocrine glands release their hormones in the blood, and the blood carries these hormones to the respective, or we can call the word as target organ. Distribution of heat to maintain constant body temperature. So the blood also helps, the transportation system also help in maintaining a constant body temperature. We all are warm-blooded animals. That means we maintain a constant body temperature, that is 37 degrees Celsius. So these are the important functions of circulatory system.